Snake River Falls is going to be having its last splash this season. We just discovered that today. This is breaking news, and I'm wondering, is that going to have an impact, or has it already had an impact on TT2 and what all is happening with the park right now? So I hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. Let's go. What's up, cool people? Thank you guys so much for hanging out. This is the very first time that we have actually hung out inside my apartment. First time that I filmed in here, and it's for some breaking news that's happening today. Snake River Falls has been a water ride around Cedar Point for as long as I can remember. I remember going to youth group events and always having to hit Snake River Falls. So I love seeing that ride around, and we just discovered today, Tony Clark released a couple different things saying that it's going to be having its last splash this season. That makes me have a couple of different questions, and we're going to talk about all of those today. We're going to talk about my just overall reactions and what I actually think is happening at Cedar Point. So let's jump into it. The very first thing that I thought about with that is just how are they closing that when Top Thrill 2 is not actually functioning yet? There's nothing happening with it. And I guess I see maybe two different things with that. First of all, they've been doing some testing and working on Top Thrill 2. So I'm wondering if they're getting very, very close to reopening Top Thrill 2, and that's why this became the perfect time to talk about this new ride. Because I'm wondering if they'll build a little bit of hype, get some people talking, and then they'll actually say that, hey, Top Thrill 2 is actually opening, and that's why now they are getting rid of this other ride. Otherwise, getting rid of another ride just feels like you're just emptying the park. Although they are only emptying the park at fall of this year. And I will say, getting rid of a ride does allow them to save some money. So if they've been spending a lot of money on Top Thrill 2, maybe this is the perfect time to get rid of Snake River Falls and then to spend more money on Top Thrill 2, or just to recoup some of the funds that they've lost on Top Thrill 2. There's just a couple of options there. I'm hoping really bad this Cedar Point is going to be opening Top Thrill 2 at least by fall of this year. So at least by middle of September. Now, I just released a short, not just a couple days ago, really, I guess about a week ago, of Cedar Point having some big cargo coming in to Top Thrill 2. So there was just lots of stuff there, lights on at night when it was like 3 a.m. when I was there. It was a very busy day with a lot of stuff in the middle of the night. And they did do testing over the week when I was at Cedar Point with Andrew, just like a week ago. So there's a lot of stuff that makes me wonder if that possibility is actually happening, if they are going to be opening up Top Thrill 2 for the first time since the very beginning of the season for Cedar Point. I would love it if they're able to, but I do have this nagging feeling of just like, no, they're gonna count it as a loss, which really ticks me off. They're gonna count it as a loss on their tax records so that then they can get a little bit of blowback from it, a little bit of extra money from it as far as their taxes go for this year. And then next year they're going to open it, whether they can get it working or not. That is definitely a concern of mine, because it just seems like Cedar Point cares less and less and less about the experience of the people, and they care more and more and more about how much money their stockholders can make. And if they can make a little bit of money by calling something a loss and then opening it again next year and then getting additional money out of it from advertising and from just the hype of opening that ride again, then they'll get double the benefit from it, which is frustrating. I will say, one way or another, Cedar Point's user experience this year because they actually did boardwalk nights and they really did some great things with it, that has made up, in my mind anyway, for some of what they did. It does at least show that they've put some effort and care into the user experience for Cedar Point, into the experience of their park, to actually create something that's exciting, and not just exciting for roller coaster lovers, but kind of exciting for everyone. So I am at least glad that Cedar Point's done that, and I do think they deserve some pretty incredible kudos for that, definitely. However, on top of that, just with the makeup of the park itself, one thing that's a big trend that I'm noticing is Cedar Point has gotten rid of Snake River Expedition. Cedar Point has gotten rid of Snake River Falls, and Cedar Point has gotten rid of the Forbidden Frontier, all of which center around that Snake River area, just the whole island in the center of Cedar Point. So if you're unfamiliar with Cedar Point is a peninsula unto itself. But inside of Cedar Point, there's also like what used to be essentially swampland that's been kind of cultivated and changed over the years as they've continued to build different things. And now there is like a full island in the middle of the park that also has a river going all the way around it. So there was a ride called Snake River Expedition, and they got rid of that. Now they've gotten rid of Snake River Falls, or at least this year, they will be getting rid of Snake River Falls also. So it makes me wonder if they have something big planned for that area, and they've been kind of considering it. I was a little bit surprised to hear that they were getting rid of Snake River Falls. Years ago, they got rid of their dorms. They had like some old fire trap dorms that were outside of Cedar Point. They got rid of those dorms, and then they got rid of, or they vacated offices now for HR, and that used to be right next to where the dorms were. So that whole area has just a road going next to it, and it's right there by the celebration stage. You could easily put another coaster there, or what I would love to see is a coaster and a new road coming in, and then relocate the celebration stage so it's pointing the opposite direction so that people can have a clear walkway to walk by, so you don't have the fire trap of that massive walkway that's been completely blocked by the main shows that are happening on the celebration stage. So that's what I've wanted to see. So I had no thoughts at all that this would be happening, on top of Top Thrill 2 isn't even functioning yet. So why would Cedar Point be considering getting rid of a ride, except that they may be looking into the future? So getting rid of this ride tells me they're definitely still looking into the future. It tells me they're close to being done with Top Thrill 2. And it also tells me that they're doing something big with Snake River, just the Snake River area. I'm wondering if they're actually going to be building some sort of bridges that can go across both sides. I would love to see that. That's a dream of mine massively. Or even if you could get 3 different spots where you could have bridges. And then I definitely would expect to see another coaster of some sort. On top of that, I really kind of thought that they'd be getting rid of Cedar Creek Mine Ride before Snake River Falls, but I'm not entirely surprised to see that they're getting rid of Snake River Falls first. Snake River Falls doesn't have the buying power for general audiences. I mean, nobody comes to Cedar Point because of Snake River Falls. So because of that, there's just not this draw to buy tickets to go to Snake River Falls. So if you get rid of it, you're not getting a lot of negative publicity, where if you got rid of another coaster, that would be kind of negative publicity. But they could build another coaster over where Snake River Falls is, and it'll look like a total net positive, rather than it looking like, well, we got rid of a coaster to then build another one, so we're still stuck right at 18 coasters. Well, now you could bump your numbers up to 19 coasters, and it would give more of that roller coaster capital of the world kind of an idea that Cedar Point really likes to bill themselves as. And at this point, they've kind of fallen behind because of a couple things, the pandemic, and then of course, Top Thrill 2 not opening, having some problems, and also having the massive accident that it had also So all those things I think are all coming together to create this situation where Cedar Point, this is the best option for them. Now, like I said, they have that whole land outside of Cedar Point's actual walls. And that is confusing to me why they haven't done anything with that. Because why get rid of a ride? But Tony did say something about it's aging and they really do not have replacement parts for it anymore. So that's probably a big part of the reason why they've gotten rid of Snake River Falls. So, I mean, I'm hoping that you can get a nice big coaster in there. I don't really have a specific coaster in mind. I know a lot of people want like spinning coaster. Please no. Please no. Put in something like Copperhead Strike, something like that. I think that'd be really great for that area. That is already a powerhouse area for coasters anyway. You have coaster in Maverick and in Steel Vengeance. Those are both massive powerhouses. You do have like a family coaster in Cedar Creek Mine Ride. So it is nice to have like a family area still there. But if you could add another large coaster that's gonna add some power to Cedar Point right there, and is probably going to take over a lot of the area on the island. Maybe just going over it. I mean, it doesn't have to mean that you can't have pathways underneath it. You can't have fun things like that. But I would love to see them reopen the island with another coaster, you know, build this coaster right now while the island's closed anyway. I'm sure that's a great way to be able to do it because they've had Dinosaurs Alive there and then they had the Forbidden Frontier. So if you're going to close it, then, you know, close it, build something new over it, and then reopen it, reinvigorate it with a couple pathways also that'll lead you to different places in there. So then you can cut through the park nice and quickly and efficiently. It'll make it feel more like a Kings Island kind of a feel because you can move throughout the park easily. And then maybe reopen that whole area with the kids like high ropes course and play area there so that then the kids really can play and have fun there. I would love to see all those things happen, and I do think this seems like a pretty positive move. I'll be sad in the next like couple of weeks here watching it close. That'll make me a little bit sad, but every year it's kind of felt like, is it gonna open this year? I don't know. So at least now this year we have closure, it's done, we know it's over. And people have been speculating this for a long time. I just thought because of multiple reasons that Cedar Point would not close anything right now, or at most would maybe start building something on that vacated plot of land. But obviously I'm wrong about that. But yeah, I mean, I think this may be kind of cool. And the more I think about it, the more I think it may be kind of cool. These images are also making their rounds through the Cedar Point forums, I guess, about an innovative roller coaster and water ride combination. This was sent basically as like a survey to some people for something else that may be coming to Cedar Point. So who knows what's actually happening, but you know, the rumors are there. So let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear from you guys down below. Also, tell me what you think of the new place and, you know, the sound and all that kind of stuff and what needs to happen to make this a good experience for you guys while you're watching. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Press that subscribe button, like button if you haven't yet. And I'd love to see you guys also down in the members only tab. If you want to get down there, you get a special emoji right next to your name. Everybody knows that you are a member. And then on top of that, also you're supporting the channel and you get brand new videos there specifically for you guys. Also early access content. Every time I finish a video, I set it straight for members only so that you guys get it as quickly as possible. And then also you get dedicated videos of theme park ASMRs that are specifically for you guys. Also dedicated videos of challenges that you guys have asked me to do, stuff like that. I'd love to see you guys down there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and let's go. Hey, thanks for watching. I release theme park related videos at least a couple times a week, so press that subscribe button if you made it this far. Also, check out similar videos in the playlist to the right or find my newest video to the left. Thanks again, and let's go!